Good morning, ladies and germs, and welcome to my log.
Hey, come on in. Now pull your pants down, then your underwear, sit on the potty and
So I need to make a correction to something I said yesterday. I said we need to have the balls of the Jew who is willing to start a third world war. There is nothing brave or courageous about the Jew willing to start a war that non-Jews will fight. But there is nothing brave or courageous about Jews in any one moment. Jews do not have balls in the sense that I used the term. Jews have chutzpah, Jewish bravery, described in the etymology dictionary by a Jew as a man who kills his mother and father and begs the court to have mercy because he's now an orphan. Chutzpah. We need to have fucking balls and send the fucking Jew to that oblast in the tundra. Putin has offered it up to them again, and it's where they fucking belong. And I mean each and every one of you fucking Jews. That's where you fucking belong. You do not belong in North America. You have a terrible fucking history of doing bad shit. And if you're proud of being a Jew, that's your legacy. That's what you have to be proud of. Cheating, lying, stealing, all the shit that you try to accuse other people of having done. A colleague of mine, he's 27 years old. He's from the United States. I guess he's been out of the university system for 4 or 5 years. He studied history. I think he has a bachelor's in history. He's very articulate, has a lot of information in his head. He says he's not white, even though he is white. He considers himself Native American, but he's hearkening back to some great-great-grandparent. And no matter what, he will not admit that there are white people. In fact, there really, to him, are only boomers who can't let go of the past. Of course, anything I say about Jews or niggers, he's going to try to prove me wrong. But what occurs to me when he spits up this stuff, because he keeps correcting me, but he's not really correcting me because he's talking about completely different things. And when he does this, he'll throw out a phrase like the Great Awakening. Well, that was the second Great Awakening. And apparently there are a lot of different things that they're teaching in these history classes now. Catchphrases, events, eras, periods, systems of thought in political science, in history. These areas of study have become little more than social sciences. These are projects by which to revise and refute the histories that white men recorded. And much of the time, I have no idea what he's talking about. All I can do is interrupt him and say, it has nothing to do with what I just said. Yesterday I said something about our country, and I said, oop, correction, my country. And he said, yeah, really, I identify as a Canadian more than an American. Well, he's got a U.S. passport, but he likes to identify as a Canadian. Why? Because he's been taught that the history of America is so terrible. He's embarrassed in every possible way. He's embarrassed to be white. He's embarrassed to be an American. He's passed through this Jew baptism by fire that we call higher education. He's got all these categories and ideas and fake theories, false information in his head. This fiction, finally, is what it is. I said to him the other day, you know, that's just a fiction, and you're calling it history. Doesn't it bother you that in the end, what you're calling history is just bad fiction? Of course, he changed the subject very quickly and started talking about historicity and how there is no history. There is no truth. Everything is subjective. This is all Jew bullshit. Every American alive who has gone to the university has passed through this ring of fire. They come out on the other side and they are burned to a crisp. And if they have any facility for remembering the things they've been told, and they have a head full of shit. And that's what I want to tell this guy. Dude, your head is a toilet. You've been used as a toilet for a decade or more, and you need to flush it out. Rethink everything they told you. Let it all go. Let it all fucking go. If you understand how many lies you're being told, just one lie. The story of the Jews' machinations, that story is absent from any one discipline, and it's been fucking with all of them. Jews have been fucking with every fucking discipline we have in the university over the previous 100 years. And the fact fact that the Jews were fucking with governments and fucking with the banks and fucking with the economy and creating all of these crises and this fake shit that they've been doing, they need to fucking be stopped. But the fact that they've been doing it for God knows how long, 1,000 years, and it's not in the fucking history books. They should have a string of classes, 3 classes on the evil nature of Jewish thinking and the Jewish tradition. This is a tradition that we can actually call evil. Now let's try to make sense of it. You know, they're doing that to the European tradition. They're actually, in this moment, Jews are doing that to white people. Look at this tradition. It's Howard Zinn's People's History of the United States. It's Edward Said's Orientalism. Look at white people and how evil they are. If you ask Chinese kids about the United States, their whole story is, well, there were the Native Americans that were genocided. There was slavery. Those poor black people in Africa were enslaved by white people. There were the Jews in Germany and what Hitler did to them. It's like this long-running story. It's South Africa, what the whites did to black people. India, what the British did to the Hindus. On and on. It's all about bad things fucking white people did. What we need is to tell the story of the people telling that fucking story about white people. The Jews have actually spread this poison, this lie, this fiction all over the world. And it's about white people. Even if they don't say white people, it's about white people. And this kid who sits next to me in the office, who I get to run into in the halls all the time, who's constantly vomiting up this shit that's in his toilet is constantly backing up. And there's no way of stopping it. All I can do is shut him up long enough to say, look, your brain is a toilet and you need to flush it. And I'm going to say the same fucking thing to you, pal. Your brain is a fucking toilet and you need to flush it.